Hello, thank you for joining us on yet another episode of your program, Capital Sports, reaching you from the United Station, Nta Channel 5, Abuja. And at this moment, you know how we do it. We try to bring you sporting stories, sometimes gist around them, analyze them, and give you depths of some of the stories you might have heard out there. And that's what makes the program unique for you. And don't forget, it is always conversational. We also like to be hearing from you on some of these issues we're dishing out to you. And today will probably not be different because we have a couple of stories. And I must tell you, today we have a sport that I know you will love outside football. And we'll bring someone who is experienced in the game to also talk to us. But this and many more after this time out. I am Abdullah Hedgia. Welcome. Glad to know you're still there. Well, this is Capital Sports, and right away, I want to talk about cricket. Yes, how much do you know about cricket, and how much are you involved in cricket beyond other sports? And don't forget, Nigeria is fully involved in cricket sports, and so far we've done pretty well, and sometimes with lapses, and that we say the administrators and those who are helping us manage it would also look inwards to be able to get us results so that we can challenge countries like India, South Africa, and the likes who have used cricket to launch themselves into the world. Right away, I want to welcome specially my guest who will be talking more on cricket at this moment. Engineer Emeka Yama, Chairman of City Cricket Association. It's a privilege having your Capital Sports today, and former President Cricket Federation of Nigeria. Well, you've seen a lot about cricket in this country, talking about cricket development, talking about cricket competition. Nigeria, where are we today when we talk about cricket? Are we actually there?
Yeah, funny enough, we're there. Nigeria is actually one of the playing nations
Okay.
as long as cricket is concerned in the world. We are we are an associate member of the International Cricket Council, ICC, which
Wow.
is the main body that regulates the cricket activities in the world. So we are also a high-ranking member of ICC when it comes to the associate member countries. So I will tell you that Nigeria is a cricket nation, and cricket is played in Nigeria.
Well, cricket is played in Nigeria. So many will say, I don't know, could it be media lapses or could it be administrative lapses? We don't get to hear so much of the promotion of cricket like other sports, say football, basketball. What do you think we need to do?
The problem is fundamental. Let me explain to you. First of all, I was once the president of Nigerian Cricket Federation. And I know, and from my own understanding about sports, sports is no longer an entertainment. It's like a business.
Okay.
And the people who make up this ecosystem, is all about the players and the media. You cannot separate sports from the media.
Sure.
So if sports is like a showman, if the media, you make more money through the media than even you make through the spectatorship today. So I must say that some federations, I don't know for whatever reason, they shy away from having this relationship with media. And as far as sports is concerned, media plays a very important role. If you don't have media, you don't have sports.
Sure.
And that is the understanding about sports. And that's why you are talking about you don't see the game, maybe because of the people who are at the helm of affairs now don't understand how to marry these two. And like I told you, they are synonymous, they are together. You can't play without having media. That is for sure.
Okay, well, that aside, let's now look at some of the competitions that will try to probably bring on board for our teams, now our national team. Can you just speak about the national teams that probably represent us at the international level before we narrow it down to the grassroots?
Yeah, for your information, Nigeria is playing in many categories. We are playing in the senior men category. We have a senior national team. We have also female. We have a female national team. We also have the under 19 category. We have the younger ones. These are all the pathways that are available for cricket competition internationally. And I can let you know that Nigeria is playing in all those categories. The national team is out there. Currently there is on the 19 qualifier going on, which Nigeria is equally part of. There's also, the T20, which the men's team is equally part of. So the national team is there, and the game is going on at that level. That is for sure. Even currently, we're also having some bilateral games between us and Ghana. They were here for some time, and they've been playing. The same thing, we go to Rwanda. I'm sure you hear it from time Rwanda has come here. So there's activity at that high performance level as far as cricket is concerned.
So if I want to know, what has been our ranking, say Africa and then maybe in the world, where are we?
Funny enough, like I told you, the International Cricket Council has 3 categories of membership.
Okay.
You have what they call the full member countries, okay, and then you have the associate countries, and then you have the affiliate countries. Nigeria is associate. Okay. And in Africa, we should be number 2. Okay. We are high up there when it comes to ranking. There's no doubt about it. So Nigeria is actually active in the game.
Okay, well, if we have identified all these, and for some of you who are still leading in the administration of cricket in the country and in the FCT, what do we need to do more in terms of recruitment of probably the best players that could represent us, at say FCT level, national level, and then probably international level? What do we need to do?
You're right. The basic question, the basic answer is very, very simple. Like I told you, we need to go back to basic. When we were growing up, we knew that we played this game in schools. We played it in secondary school. We played it in our higher schools. What we need to do to actually get sports going again is to go back to basic and get the education system inculcate sports as an integral part of their curriculum. As long as that is not done, that's what you see that is happening today. And for us in Nigeria, taking cognizance of the sports which I represent, cricket, when you come to Nigeria, we have the Nigerian Cricket Federation. We also have the state associations. The states are associate members of the Federation, of the Nigerian Cricket Federation. So here I am the chairman FCT Cricket Association. Okay. And what are we doing today? What we have done is to take cricket back to school. We have formed a synergy between us and the Department of Education in the FCT ministry. We've equally formed a synergy between us and the Department of Sports. So you find out that by taking the game back to the schools, we are working with the State Education Board, the Superb, and the junior part of it. The whole idea is to have this game as in their curriculum. They can teach it. It's a book, just like you teach other sports. You can teach this. So people can start from primary school to understand what this game is, play it to their senior secondary school, and then they can graduate and they can become professionals. That is how we know how best to do it, and that's what we're currently doing in FCT.
Okay, well, that's commendable, I must say. But before we continue with that discussion, let's see these clips which talks about the effort, or one of the efforts you're putting in terms of taking back these sports to the basics, where probably we'll be grooming them, from the cradle, if I must use that, so that when they grow up with the talents and become professionals. Let's take a look at these clips of some of your efforts.
I'm in Government Secondary School with Season 3 for the final day of cricket training for Games Masters from 13 selected secondary schools in Abuja. This is in line with the Abuja Cricket Revival, which is an initiative of the FCT Cricket Association aimed at introducing the game of cricket to students in the FCT. In this introductory phase, The teachers were intimated with the rudiments of the sports, which they will in turn impact the knowledge on their students.
For these 3 days training, we've been learning a lot. We learn the fundamentals, the skills, and they let us know that cricket is a team, game.
In the time past, cricket looked like an individual struggle. Coaches will come trying to scout for players. They have approached us at quite a number of times seeking permission to be able to interact with our students. We obliged them the opportunity. But now this is the first approach from the Cricket Association seeking to collaborate with the FCT Secondary Education Board to officially introduce cricket as a game among senior secondary schools.
Even from the first day the game was introduced to us, I was very excited. And so I am privileged that the game is kicking off here. So which means my school is a pioneer school.
The chairman of the FCT Cricket Association, Emeka Oyema, is appealing for support and partnership from the government to promote the game of cricket in the FCT.
The main challenge that we are going through right now is that we need a ground. We need a ground where we play this game. After teaching these schools and getting them to play the game, we want to host competition and want to host it in FCT cricket ground.
What we want to do in FCT is to deepen the level of cricket in FCT through secondary schools in the SS 1 to 3 and JS 1 to 3.
At the end of the training, a total of 18 games masters were presented with the cricket materials to aid their students play the game of cricket in their schools. In Abuja, Francis Kabile, NTA News.
All right, Francisca, thank you very much for bringing us that clips which just happened a while ago. Well, we still have the chairman of City Cricket Association here in the studio. Now, we just saw that clips, and like I said earlier, very commendable. That is the way to go. Trying to recruit fresh hands, more talents into the system. Now, you talked about one of the challenges, which is the playing field. How can we get this on board? Have we reached out to the government and also the private sector, which all the time we say must be part of sports development in the country?
We have made efforts towards that direction. We have applied to the Department of Lands in FCT to provide us with a ground where we can play this game. FCT is the seat of power. This is the federal capital. This is where you have all the embassies, all the diplomats are all staying in FCT. All the nations that play cricket all have their embassies here. They are approaching us on a daily basis. They want this game inside the city and they want to play this game. By building a ground, we are highlighting these sports in FCT, being a seat of power. And at the same time, you can have the foreigners come to our aid. So the most important thing is, first of all, to get the ground. We have synergies with private sector who are willing to cooperate with us in getting the game going. So that is not an issue. So for now, the whole idea after this is the competition, and then making sure that the cricket effect is deepening in the FCT. That's our main goal, and that can only happen when we have a ground of our own.
Okay, another aspect I want you to also talk about, which I've observed also, talking about the seriousness to get some of these young players and also get FCT set for major competition, was the appointment of a coach who was not just only a coach but an experienced coach for the FCT. How far so far with the coach?
Yeah, you can see what the coach is doing. The coach is doing wonderfully very well. The coach is an internationally recognized coach. It's one of the best we have in Nigeria. And he's agreeing to do this work is phenomenal. And we thank him so much for even being here. So far, we've been able to get the principals of the selected schools know about cricket, inculcate them in what we are doing. We've also carried the Department of Education, the secondary school board and the junior secondary school board. We've carried them along as partners in this endeavor. Without them, we don't believe this will work. So the coach understands what to do and understands the rudiments, and that's what he's doing today. What you see there is the games masters of the selected schools coming to have an introductory training of the game in preparation to go back to their school and prepare students to play this game. And we are there to post coaches to them to make sure that during their PEs, because we want, like we told you, we want this to be part of the educational curriculum. So we need to work with the education system, and that's what you see. So the coach is well to do and is on point, and he knows his onions.
Well, he knows his onions. We'll get back to continue from that. Don't forget, it is still Capital Sports reaching you from the Unity Station, Nta Channel 5, Abuja. Well, it's about that time where we'll give you the opportunity to be part of the conversation. And today we're talking cricket. And it is one sport that we need to also look inwards beyond football, basketball, volleyball, and the like. So I think we're blessed to have one man that has seen the game from all perspectives talking to us today. So we have the opportunity of contributing to the program. The number to call is on the screen so that you'll be part of the conversation. Now, before we begin to get some of these calls, talk to us about the technical aspect of this game. So many of us don't know. Probably it could be part of the challenge of the followership to the game. I know there is a bat, and talk to us about some of the facilities.
Okay, let me just.
So that if I want to encourage my child to play.
Yes, you need to. The game is very, very unique.
Okay.
For a growing child, as a matter of fact, it's very, very important to teach a growing child cricket. The British will tell you that anything that is not cricket is not just. Wow. It's not equitable. Wow. So when they say this is cricket, you know that there's fair play and there's justice.
Okay.
So that is how we know the game. And coming to talk about the technicality of the game, you find that the game is a game of 11. 11. You have the batters, you have the bowlers, you have the fieldsmen. At any point in time, one team is bowling and fielding, another team is batting. So at the end of the day, one team scores what we call runs, and the other side comes to play and see how, at the end of the day, if they pass the runs, that's it. So the game is highly technical in the sense that it's also mathematical.
Okay.
And you are taught to also have patience and endurance, perseverance. The game doesn't give you a second opportunity. So you are taught to be patient and to be calculative in every move you make. That's what is unique about the game.
Thank you very much, Engineer Emeka Onyema, Chairman FCD Cricket Association, former President, Cricket Federation of Nigeria, for coming to enlighten us on the program Capital Sports. Well, this time is not enough. We'll look for more time so that our viewer will be educated properly and probably consider playing cricket. I don't know. Can I still play cricket?
Oh, sure, can play cricket.
All right. Well, when we bring you back, I will talk on that. Thank you for coming on Capital Sports.
Thank you. Thank you for having me too.
All right. Let's go on a short break, and when we return, it will be the second half where we talk other sports. Do stay with us.
All right.
For staying tuned. Well, that was Engineer Emeka Nyama, FCD Chairman Cricket Association. They're educating on us on cricket. Now it's about time to bring the maestro himself, Badia Dele, who will be analyzing some other sports. Just today we got to latest FIFA ranking released. What's your take on that?
I think, when you play matches, just like I always say, you always see the effect on the FIFA rankings. So to me, I just didn't find it as anything surprising because, it's normal and what I'm targeting now. And at that time that, FIFA rankings could really help us. That would have been the time that we needed to be put in ports and all those things. But for me, I kind of feel, we put too much emphasis on FIFA ranking. Um, and at times when it really matters, most times it's always, when it's about that, you getting posts for the World Cup or the Nations Cup draws and all that. And so when does it really become something that you're really going to judge? And what I'm going to say that is that Nigeria we were involved with, whether you like it or not, you can call them minors. We played teams that on a normal day we should beat. So it's normal. I want FIFA rankings to be on a level playing field. Like we get to play Portugal, we get to play Belgium, and all that. If Portugal plays a team like Belgium or Portugal, they get to play Netherlands, they shoot really up. Nigeria will beat the Republic, and the coefficient for us is just a little. So that's just it. But so at times, when I'm for somebody like me, when I'm looking at most of the top stories and I see FIFA rankings, it doesn't really bring that much attraction. That's it. But baby steps, we'll take it.
All right. Well, Buddy, sometimes when you talk about this FIFA ranking, I have mixed feelings. But like you said, FIFA ranking can also guarantee you a pot, during draws and the likes. But we were thinking after winning 3-0 against Benin Republic and also pulling a draw against the Rwandans, that would have added and maybe we shoot a little. But probably our points were not enough to bring down us at the top.
That's what I'm saying. We beat teams, that were down.
Okay.
So and the way
you're not climbing.
You understand the way FIFA rankings, the way the team really works. It's quite it's straightforward. If you beat a team like Portugal that you find in the top 10, you get huge points for that.
Okay.
But if you go and beat a team that is rated number 140 in the world, if you like, you beat them 30-0, you don't get anything like that.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Even if we beat all the remaining 52, 53 teams in Africa in a year, we will still not be world number one. And where is another opportunity for Nigeria to play the big weeks in world football? It's not there. So why are we now saying we should judge based on performances against Benin Republic and Rwanda?
Okay,
now you're judging Portugal with other countries.
Now I got the point. Well, let's leave it at that and hope that when international windows come that we don't have qualifiers. Maybe we'll say, okay, let's go try Portugal.
That's one of the problems. Yes. It's kind of choked up.
Yes.
Because the next one too, we have 2 qualifiers.
Okay.
Unless the players can play every other day. Okay. And it will work because they have to travel. So that's why players are complaining about the tight schedule. And it's worse in Africa because we've got no proper plan.
All right. Well, let's quickly look at our own representation in the CAF Champions League, Rangers International. You've departed. And they have a date with Angolan team. Yes, it was a slim victory for us here at home. And I have my own fears that 1-0 wasn't enough. It could be slippery.
It could be. I'll be more worried if it was. Number one thing is that do not beat any North African team.
Okay.
By 2 goals or 1-0. You understand?
Yes.
So that's understandable. So since they are not from Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, and all of that, I would quite understand that if they can manage a draw there or a score draw, any type of draw, or they can if they even lose like 2-1, it will still go in their favor, which is very much okay. And for Batu, it was draw away the other time, and they are back in Nigeria now. So let's see what the fans can do, against them if they can rally around them. But Enugu Rangers, they have to make a statement. That's just it. They are the Nigerian champions, so they should let us know that they didn't win the league, by fluke. So they have to prove their mettle.
Let's see who can take this one caller before we go. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Quickly, this Capital Sports. You have 30 seconds to talk to us. Hello, talk to us. This Capital Sports. We can't hear you. Okay, well, but let it be that quickly the curtains has been drawn today as far as the National Youth Games is concerned. Your take quickly before we go.
Largely on the National Youth Games. A better performance, a better hosting.
Okay.
When it comes to the competition itself, and our Delta State hosting it, and of course the results we're getting, young kids, having a girl that is like 5 years old competing, in golf, in chess, and all that. That's quite huge. And now we have more database with NIN and everything being used. But and of course, the Minister of Sports pushing it back to 17 years. National Council on Sports will talk on that. I think that's very cool. But maybe next week we'll have more time to talk about many other things that could come out of the National Youth Games because we could do it better. But it's beautiful now that the ministry is making sure that we're having it yearly and it's commendable.
Okay, well, Buddy, we'll leave it at that and probably talk about those that will be champions on our next episode. We hope the FCT, would have gotten enough medals to be among the top, the first 10. Okay, I also wish Manchester United all the best. Thank you for coming. Well, that's it on Capital Sports for today. Do join us same time, same station next week when we come here with more juicy stories. So enjoy the rest of our programs. I am Abdullah Hajja. Bye for now.